Hello, welcome to the part 2 of how to convince people through copywriting. So, in part 1, we understood what's the difference between convincing and persuading. In case you've not watched part 1, this video won't make much sense. So, link below to watch part 1. And for those of you who watched part 1, let's begin and build on the concept of how to persuade readers. So, today we are going to understand the 4 principles of persuasion. So, let's begin. The first principle is the principle of reciprocity. What does this principle state? This principle means that to get anything, receive anything, first give, then ask, right? So let me explain this principle with a simple story. So we were going to play zone with my son, and there was this in the mall. There was this sweet stall, and we didn't intend to buy any sweet. And this sweet seller saw us, and he said, "Come, come, come! Don't buy anything. Come, come!" And for being polite, we didn't want to be rude, right? So we went and we said we'll just wait there and say we don't want anything, and we'll jump to the place to the game zone. And this sweet seller, what he did, he kept on giving us samples. Taste this chicky, taste this pedha, taste this halwa, and he kept on feeding us samples. Now, we had gone there with the intention not to buy anything from there. And here's this man generously feeding us sample after the other, sample after the other. Now, what happened? With each sample, our guilt level kept on increasing, right? As the more samples he kept on giving, our guilt of not buying kept on increasing. Then what did we do? We didn't want to be greedy. We didn't want to be rude. We wanted to reciprocate the favor. He had given us a favor, right? He had done a favor. So we wanted to reciprocate that favor. And to reciprocate the favor, we bought sweets from him. And what the principle of reciprocity is. To get, first give. And when you give, don't give with the intention of getting something. Give freely, right? For this principle to work, the second part is very important. That is the intent. The intention of giving. If you're giving knowledge or if you're giving any service with the intention to get something, this principle won't work. When the sweet seller gave us samples, he didn't give it with the intention of us buying it. He gave it with the intention to help us taste different flavors, right? His intention was just to make us aware of the different delicious flavors and varieties of sweets in his shop. He didn't have an intention to get us to buy those sweets. In fact, he kept on insisting, don't buy, just taste. He said it. अरे अरे लेना नहीं है, आप तो सिर्फ चख के देखो कैसा है, हमें बताओ कैसा है, ये तो हमारा स्पेशलिटी है, आप जस्ट टेस्ट करके बोलो, right? So his intent was not to sell, his intent was to serve. So this is our first principle, the principle of reciprocity. First give, then receive. People reciprocate favors. Now let's come to the second principle of persuasion. The second principle is principle of credibility. Now, what does this principle state? People trust other people, right? So now, if you're buying anything, if you're shopping online, what do? First thing, what do? You select the product which you want, and then what's the next thing you do? You jump to the reviews section. Now, why do you jump to the reviews section? Why don't you just read the description and trust whatever the seller has stated? Because we trust other people's opinions. And in the review section, you look at the reviews of how other people's experiences are. If there are majority of positive experiences, you'll buy the product. If there are say one or two bad experiences, bad seller, my product was lost, broken, you'll not buy the product, right? So this is the principle of credibility. We buy from people based on other people's opinions. Now, third principle of persuasion, the principle of authority. Now, what does this principle mean? Suppose there is a big, you're a trader, and there is a big opportunity that is coming in, and your friends tell you about that opportunity, that this stock price is going to increase like anything. They are planning a lot of new projects. So we should keep an eye on this stock and even maybe buy it. And do you immediately take action based on your friend's opinion? You might not. You might take action, you might not take action. But if the same news what your friends told you read it in the morning news, you watch it on TV, many experts, industry experts are saying, this is the stock of the year. This is a multi-bagger stock. You must buy it. It will give you 4x returns. What do? Do you take action and add 1,000 lots, or do you not take action? So, whose opinion will you trust? Will you trust your friend's opinion, or will you trust the news and the TV reporters and industry experts' opinions? Whose opinions are you more likely to trust? Right. You'll trust the industry experts' opinions. Why is this? This is because of the principle of authority. We trust when people have authority. Okay, so that's why we are more likely to trust a stock expert's opinion more than our friend's opinion, because we know that this stock expert has been spending years analyzing stock. They do it day in and day out. They've been in the industry watching trends, analysis closely, while as our friends might not be into the industry and into such deep research, right? So we trust when people have authority. We trust people with authority. Now, the fourth principle of persuasion, that is the principle of likability. What does this mean? We like from people, we buy from people we like and admire. Now, let me give you an example. Suppose there you want to buy a new outfit, and there are two boutiques in your area. And one is a boutique where you go every day. You like to buy from that place. The people are good and stuff. And the second is a newly opened boutique. You went to both of these boutiques and you liked one dress. Both boutiques had that same dress. The price was same, the dress was same, and every other thing was just same. Which boutique would you buy from? Would you buy from the boutique you regularly go to and like, or would you buy from a new boutique? Which boutique would you buy from? So we would buy from the boutique where we regularly go to. Why? Because people buy from people they know, like, and trust. So that is the principle of likability. Now, we've understood the four principles of persuasion. These aren't the only principles of persuasion, but these give us a basic understanding of how persuasion works. But the question is, how do we use all these elements we've just understood in our words, because in copywriting, we don't have any screen or images or anything, right? All we have is words to convey our message. So, how do we use all the elements of persuasion using just words? How can we do that? To do that, your answer is stories. People love listening to stories. Now, you can persuade readers by incorporating all the elements of persuasion through storytelling. So, you might be wondering, right? People like listening to stories. You can combine all the persuasion elements in story. So, how do I tell stories that people get persuaded with? Or how can I tell stories for my products and brands, right? They are not individuals. They are people. They are products, right? So living things and non-living things. So how do you tell stories for products and brands? How can you do that? To understand how can we tell stories for products and brands, we have to wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll show you how we can tell stories for products and brands through copywriting that have the power to persuade people. So until tomorrow, if you like my videos, hit the like button. If you want to see more of this space and learn more about copywriting, hit the subscribe button. And I have a bunch of free courses below. So you just have to click on my website link below in the description box. And I have a free course of copywriting. If you want to learn about copywriting, there's a free course. So click on my website, and until tomorrow, keep writing.